What's going on, guys? It's Michael from GPURisers.com, and today we're going to be unboxing this 3070 Ti and putting it on the test bench. So real quick, we recently took off the 3080 Ti, just so happened to be the same exact model, the For the Win 3 Ultra by EVGA. You guys probably saw the results from that, which were pretty good, so we are excited to see what this 3070 Ti is capable of doing. I've heard great things about the 3070 Ti's. I'm actually in the process of trying to get as many of these as possible. What's actually kind of nice about these, unlike the non-LHR cards, is that you can kind of get these for close to MSRP. And by close, I'm saying within about 10%. That's how I got this one, was about 10% above the MSRP price for it. So I know NB Miner has their 70% hash rate unlocked for ETH hash, so we're going to test that out. We're going to test out Ergo, Ravencoin, everything, and to really see if, how profitable this card is. But first, in today's video, as usual, the first part of these series, I'm going to unbox the card, give my opinion of the card, take like a first look at the card, and then we're going to get it onto the test bench, make sure everything's going well with it. And then in the second part of this, we are going to break it down to see what is most profitable on this card, get it ready to mine, and leave it on for a week. So I know we did the RTX 3080 Ti EVGA For the Win 3 for about 13 days, and we might do this one for a little bit longer than a week. However, if we feel like that we got an accurate number per day, breakdown after about a week, we'll just pull it off at that time. And I'm eager to get this thing out of here and onto the test bench. The 3080 Ti was extremely exciting, very powerful card. However, that card did pull about north of 350 watts. This one should pull at around, I'm hoping, 150 watts. But we'll get into that in the second part of this, so let's go ahead and jump into unboxing this. Just like the other one, unboxes at the top, right here. And I did get a new camera lens. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it's a little bit more of like a wide angle lens. The other one was probably like that thick. And so I would actually be standing really far back from these cards, and I feel like I wasn't able to do a whole lot. But I can guarantee I'm still not gonna be able to unbox this with one hand, but we'll give it a go. Looks identical to the 3080 Ti. Go ahead and take it out. Now it comes with just the regular, no splitter cable or anything like that. And there it is. Got off all the plastic here. As usual, it's a beautiful looking card. EVGA did a great job with this design. So right off the bat, this top piece right here is not really silver. I know with the 3080 Ti and the 3090, it was more of like a polished silver. And I always thought that was kind of cool, because when the card was actually on and you had the LED going, when the card was off, it looked like it didn't have an LED. Now this one, I don't want to say cheaper, but it's actually white, and it is a little more obvious that there would be an LED under here. Now the weight of the card is not as heavy, however, it is pretty close. Now, as much as I do love the EVGA For the Win 3s, I am a tad worried about putting a whole bunch of these onto a rig. And when I say a whole bunch, I'm talking about, at 150 watts, I was kind of planning on doing builds of 8 for these, which would land me at about 1200 watts, and I could do the 12 frames and have 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. These are a little bit thick cards, but they actually do run pretty cool. That's something I'm just going to have to test with, but any other EVGA product that I've had has never had a heating issue or a cooling issue or thermal throttling or anything like that. Not that these 3070 Ti's do thermal throttle, but I've never had an EVGA thermal throttle on the 3080 series, or 3090 actually I have, but it was in my mini ITX case and mining on it, so that was I mean, if anything was going to thermal throttle, it's going to thermal throttle in there. But who knows? I actually have a couple other 3070 Ti's coming in. However, they are Zotac. I believe it's like the amp edition. And I'll compare that with this once they get in and see the thickness. And I'll probably even do a thermal test to see which one cools the best. I'm going to just go ahead and probably say it's going to be this one. But I'll do a test on all fairness to Zotac. So let's go ahead and get this 3070 Ti put onto the test bench. And for this setup, on the 3080 Ti, I used a splitter for 2 8-pins and another 8-pin dedicated from the power supply. However, because this is only supposed to draw about 150 watts, I think that I'm just going to go ahead and run a single 8-pin splitter onto this card, and then I'm just going to go ahead and power the riser with the other 6-pin. So here's the 8-pin that we used on the 3080. I'm going to go ahead and just use the 6-pin part of this to power our GPURiser. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in with one hand. Look at that. And then I'm going to power this 3070 Ti with a single 8-pin to dual 8-pin splitter. Okay, looks like we got the card seated in there. We'll plug in the HDMI. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and use our splitter cable. I'm going to watch the wattage on this. I'm not going to start mining with it right away. I'm probably going to apply overclocks on this before I start ramping the card up on a mining algorithm. Okay, there we go. Those are in there nice and snug. And so I think everything is good to go. The riser is connected. Now I do use this little plastic piece right there to kind of support the graphics card. These sideways cards kind of, you know, will put a little bit of pressure on this IO bracket back here. So I use a little rubber thing to jack the card up a little bit. Now that everything is plugged in, let's flip the power supply on and we will go ahead and start this up. Now right off the bat, I don't know if you can see it in the camera all too well, but it kind of looks more of like a foggy LED light here. Maybe softer is the better way to put it. Kind of like a soft light, or like a light bulb that has like the frost on the outside of it. That's kind of like what this looks like. So it looks like we are all booted up. Type in our password. Okay, we are logged in. Let's go ahead and just run a algorithm real quick. We'll just do Raven real quick. Let this warm up. There goes the wattage. 210 watts. No, 180. Now these fans, I'm guessing, are going to auto start just like the 3080 Ti did. Yep, and there we go. And we are pulling almost 400 watts at the system, which means this card right now is pulling about 330 watts, which is way too much for just one splitter cable. So we are going to go ahead and turn the mining off right there. And we are going to mess with overclocks. Now, when it comes to splitter cables, you don't really want to overload them. The ratings on them, you'll see some are for 150 watts, some go up to 250 watts. These are true 18 AWG cables that we do sell on our website. So I feel comfortable going up to about 225 watts, 220 watts on these. Now, if it's a 3080, which hover around 220 watts, I wouldn't use a single 8-pin splitter for that, just because they can fluctuate, and I don't feel comfortable going above 220 watts on a single 8-pin splitter. So in this case, we saw it just jump that much. I'm going to be very careful when testing this and watching a lot of what goes on. I've had some instances where, you know, a overclock will fail, for instance, and you know, MSI Afterburner will reset, or, you know, in the event that you have a, you know, mining rig that auto restarts, you know, from AC power loss or something like that, the rig might boot back up and not load your overclocks properly, but because you put a batch file on your startup, it'll start mining right away with no overclocks, which means it's going to be pulling full wattage from these cards. So I like to be extra safe when it comes to stuff like that. Well, because this is an isolated test bench, I will be utilizing a single 8-pin splitter. However, when it comes to, you know, putting 6 of these on a single rig, I will have to think about how I'm going to properly power these in the event that something like that does happen. But that's for another time. So I'm not going to drag this one out. I just wanted to unbox it, throw it on the test bench, get it ready, and show you guys, you know, some of the little differences on this compared to the 3080 Ti and even the 3090 and regular 3080. But thanks so much for watching. In the second part of this, we are going to do the same exact stuff that we've been doing with these other cards, which is finding what's most profitable, the optimum settings for that, and the correct overclocks for these cards. Now, I know we've been putting out a lot of content, and it may just seem like it's a lot of, you know, reviews on graphics cards. However, we wanted to get all of these out of the way, have a base, you know, information on each card, so that we and you have a better understanding on which ones are most profitable, which ones are the most convenient, which ones are the most efficient at mining. So eventually we're going to get all caught up on the new cards that are out, and when Nvidia and AMD and maybe even Intel, when they do release new cards, we're going to try to get them as soon as possible and get the, you know, newest information out to you guys as quick as possible. But when it comes down to these 3-part series, we're going to be coming out with more content between it, but we really want to break down each and every card that's out there that's, you know, profitable with mining, at least being able to do a full breakdown, a full review and analysis on, you know, what it is like to mine on this card in 2021. We are also going to go back in time and look at older mining cards, such as the Radeon 7, AMD Pro cards, stuff like that, seeing, you know, hey, are these older cards still profitable? Are they worth getting? I think majority of the time the answer will be no. However, it's important to explore those options. So again, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate the views and the subscribers and the comments and everything. We're just so happy with the direction that all of this is going. We're so excited to be a part of the community and bringing you guys as much content as we can. I know a lot of these videos are either me sitting in front of my computer talking to you or me hovering around this test bench. However, we do have a lot more exciting things coming. So stay tuned for all of that. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content, and drop a comment down below on what you would like for us to test on this 3070 Ti. We're going to try to get as many numbers as we can out of this thing. It used to be the 4070, 4080, 570, 580 that were mining kings. Then it kind of turned into the, I would say, 5700s, 5700 XTs, then the 3060 Ti's, 3070s. I genuinely feel that these 3070 Ti's are going to be extremely popular when it comes to mining. I think that these have a ton of potential, but I may be completely wrong. So we're going to try that out in the next video, and we'll hopefully see you guys there. Thanks again for everything, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.